Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to the Coyote Country Homestead. Today we're launching Operation Save My Driveway. So I know what you're saying. You're asking yourself, hey Chris, where's the tractor? And so my first video that I posted was about how I bought a new tractor and the work that I plan to do with it. And there's a problem with the tractor. Now, I want to be really clear that the problem was known to me when I purchased the tractor, and the dealer is working to get it fixed. But when they went to transport the tractor between they had two facilities, and when they went to go move it from one to the other, they put it into four-wheel drive and moved it up onto the trailer, and it sheared a bearing in the axle. So they are in the process of getting a entirely new axle from the factory. And again, I knew about this when I bought the tractor. I got a pretty good discount because the tractor is a little bit older. We can talk about all that later. But the long and short of all of that is I'm still waiting on the tractor. I don't like the fact that I'm waiting on the tractor, but at the same time, it's been pretty wet here. And I know if I had the tractor, I wouldn't be able to stay off it and I'd just be tearing ruts up in my yard. So not a big deal to me that we don't have the tractor yet. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and kick off my project for this, my other project, or one of the projects that I was looking to use the tractor for this year, which is saving the driveway. So I have, let me flip around here. This is my driveway. I've got a pretty good size. I've got a little over 400 feet of asphalt driveway. You can already see it's in pretty rough shape. Those cracks are pretty deep. As we move down here, you're going to see some sections that are significantly worse than this. I want to be clear about two things right up front. Number one, this driveway needs to be replaced. I've called in professionals, and that was their recommendation to me, was to tear this thing out and replace it. That was going to be between, for a driveway this size, $30,000 and $50,000, which is a lot of money. And so the other thing I want to be clear about is this is not a DIY or a how-to video. This is a DIY video, but it's not a how-to video. I'm not recommending that anybody do what I'm going to try and do here. I'm really just trying to find ways to extend the life of this driveway and not have to make that kind of a major cash outlay just for something flat that I can drive on. So instead, I'm going to try and do some things to save the driveway. There are quite a few sections of the driveway that, even though it's completely eroded and needs to be replaced, about half, at least half of the driveway, I feel like is in fairly good shape and can be either sealed or cracked or do something to get maybe another 5 years. I'm really kind of hoping that that's the place that I can end up with this. And then I can decide what I need to do after that. I also want to say that my default plan on all of this is to just tear the whole thing out and go to a gravel driveway. And I decided that rather than spend $50,000 on a driveway replacement, I would rather invest a fraction of that into a tractor, try and do some of this work myself. Again, with the default plan that none of what I do works. I tear the entire driveway out and I just go to gravel. And I can then maintain it with a box blade or do whatever I need to do to maintain a gravel driveway instead of the asphalt driveway. So that's where we are with this thing, and today we're going to start work on one section of the driveway. I'm going to do a few experiments with some different products on smaller sections of the driveway and hope that I can make those products work and restore or replace enough of the driveway to keep it serviceable. I'm going to start the work in one of the more serviceable or areas of the driveway that I hope can be repaired. It's relatively level. I've got quite a bit of alligator cracking, but we're going to try to use a product, the Rapidset Asphalt Resurfacer product on this. And I've got two things I want to do today. One, I want to see how well the product works, how well it covers and seals these cracks. But two, I also need to get a handle on how much surface area. I can do the math, but seeing it in person, seeing how it actually goes down, I really need to see how far this will go. So I bought 50 pounds of it today. My plan is to get this as much of a section here done as I can with that 50 pounds and see how far that goes. I power washed all of this section out, and you can see really what I'm doing is this line here, we're going to be working to the right of that. And then really in this area here, however much I can get done. So again, I power washed it last weekend. I'm going to blow everything off today, and then we're going to start mixing and laying this Rapidset Asphalt Resurfacer and see how it goes. So I'll set the tripod up and we'll record this thing, and we'll see how it goes. I appreciate you visiting the channel today. If you've enjoyed any part of this video, please click the like button. If you want to see more about the driveway repairs or the many other projects I plan to tackle this year, please subscribe. So I was getting ready to, I bought a mixer because I wanted to be able to get this, the Rapidset product here, the asphalt resurfacer that I've got here. I wanted to be able to get that mixed up in this bucket, right? And so I bought this Ryobi mixer that's used for mortar, cement, all those kinds of things. I like this one because I already have these kind of batteries, and since I've got quite a few other tools, I figured that would be an easy way to do it. It unfortunately requires a chuck and a chuck key. Man, I haven't needed a chuck key in forever. And I figured for sure it would have one on here. And if there is one on here, I sure cannot find it. I do see like a little hole here where there might be one, but I'm not seeing it, and I don't see it in the package anywhere. So I got to go up and get a 1/2-inch chuck key at the hardware store before I continue. So we're going to go do that now. It's always something, but now that we've got our chuck key, we're back in action. Little tacky still. So instructions say to mix this up 25 pounds with 2 to 3 quarts of water. So I started out, I'm doing a double batch, 2 25-pound boxes. I put 4 quarts of water, 5 quarts. I went with 5 quarts. So basically 2.5. That seemed to give me the mix that I wanted. I was pretty happy with that. And then you've got 20 minutes of working time to get this down, smooth it, and then finish it with a loop roller. So I was really worried when I got started on this project that 20 minutes wouldn't be long enough. And I think for at least for a 50-pound batch, I think that's plenty of time. And if I had, maybe if I get a partner to help me mix and have the mixes ready to go, I think I could do a pretty good sized section in a number of hours and still keep it workable. But right now it's, like I said, I was kind of worried that 20 minutes working time was going to be really short. It goes down really fast, and using the squeegee to spread that out is great. I wish I had another batch ready to go. I feel like I could have gotten done probably from about where I'm standing here and gotten this whole section done with 100 pounds. So I'm going to measure that once this is all done, and I'll have a lot better idea of how much I can get done per 50-pound bag. Um, pretty happy with how it's filling in so far. I want to see how it dries, of course. Uh, this it may not dry as well, but I'm optimistic. So I'm going to keep working this with the loop roller. You're not supposed to do this in layers. You're supposed to put it all down in one layer. So I can see in some of my worst areas where it was the most crumbly, or I either need to do more removal of material, which I absolutely would believe, or I might need to come in with like a trowel patch first and get just a little bit better surface for this to adhere to. They make a repair product as well that you can use to repair up to 2 feet deep. But that's not really what I was looking, it's not the application I was looking for in this spot right here. If I were doing a bigger section, I would probably pour, squeegee, move on to the next section, let it cure for a little bit more time, and then come back and start rolling. I think it needs that setup time. Like the edges of this are nice. I like the way they're finishing out, but the middle of it, where it's the thickest and the most wet, still just a bit tacky for me. We'll get you where you're not maybe looking in the angle of the sun quite so much here. But now again, this is just a test of an area, right? But if you look down here, you can see where this area here is really broken up, right? And this area here was the same as that. And it filled in really nicely, that product did. And, again, you can see where we had all these cracks in here, and those extended over here. Now, right there and there, they didn't fill in very well. I got thin on the material. This is where I needed more material. But if you focus more on the middle sections here, that seems to have filled in really nicely. So I'm curious to see what this is going to look like tomorrow. It's supposed to be drivable in 2 to 3 hours. If I need to get out tonight, I'll just drive around it on the grass. But I'm really eager to see what this looks like tomorrow. We'll revisit it then. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up and get out of here for today. So I was cleaning up the packaging from the new Ryobi paddle bit, and I was just tearing through it. I was like, I really couldn't believe that they wouldn't include a key and require a key for that. It was really kind of a hard item to find. So, well, I unboxed everything on top of my dumpster here. And as I moved the box, sure enough, right there, I don't know if you can see it, but there is the key, chuck key that I needed. So I just wanted to follow up and, not throw Ryobi under the bus for a mistake I made. They did, in fact, include the key, but it got off to the side from the packaging and then under the packaging, and I just didn't see it. So anyway, my bad. This is how that looks the next day. You can see yesterday it was darker while it was still a little bit wet. It looks more gray today, but even so, it's darker than the asphalt, the aged asphalt around it. And keep in mind, This is not a sealer. So this still has to be sealed once we get all of the repairs done. I'm really happy with how it has. Let's zoom in just a little bit and look at some of these cracks down here. But I mean, it didn't like fill in the low spots. Rather, I should say, it went into the cracks. It does looks like it did a good job of penetration. It didn't level this out super well, but it does look like it closed off all the cracks. I mean, again, if you look at the side over here, and you can see how deep those cracks are, and come over to here, you know, that's pretty deep crack there that needs to be filled in. I mean, it looks like it's done a pretty good job. And this stuff's hard. I mean, just walking across and driving across it this morning, you know, again, if we look down here, you can really see how that filled in across that line there. So I don't know. I like it. I'm going to use it for some more sections. I want to do some more testing with it. I think it's going to be the right product to repair a lot of the alligator cracking and sections of the driveway that aren't completely eroded out. I've got some other areas where the driveway is disintegrated completely down to the ground, and I don't know what I'm going to do about those yet, but I'm going to tackle this one part at a time, and kind of learn as I go. So I feel like this part was a success. The next thing I'm going to do is probably get a combination of the Rapidset Asphalt Repair for some deeper damage that I have, and try some experiments with that. But I really like this resurfacer so far. So, I mean, I can see there are areas of the driveway that I plan to use the resurfacer to fix, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. That's all for this one. We're running probably a little long on this one anyway. I really appreciate you coming and seeing what I'm doing over here. Um, we'll have more videos about this and other things that we're working on this year. So thank you for joining me at the Coyote Country Homestead. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.